Sean Meyers of the Westmoreland Sports Network, joined by Brady Pevarnik, who just came off of a victory at the West Penn Amateur golf tournament earlier this week. First off, Brady, congratulations. I know that is a very significant accomplishment for you. When you scored that victory over 3 rounds, what did that mean to you?
It meant a lot. It was it's a tournament I've played a lot of times. I think the first time I played it, I was 13, and I've played it every year since then, besides the 1 year that I was injured. So it was the first big event that I ever qualified for. It's pretty cool for it to come full circle and win it.
Well, you mentioned that you played it every year except for when you were injured. I know over the last couple of years, you've run into some hardships in golf, including a wrist injury that really kept you sidelined for about a year, if not even longer than that. Talk about how you were able to battle through that and ultimately how you were able to come out better on the other side of it.
Yeah, it was really difficult. I broke it right after when COVID hit, my freshman year of college, and I cast for around 6 to 8 months, and then after that, the bone was healed, but my wrist still had no flexibility. So when I came back, I still couldn't break 90. Just being honest, I mean, and that was pretty tough coming from the situation where I was a very good junior career and played okay early in college. So yeah, it's been a lot of grinding from there down. I know I've always had it in me, but yeah, it's been a lot of hard work to get back to, a point where I'm contending and now even winning tournaments and stuff.
Well, you mentioned obviously the physical limitations with the flexibility. It seems like you're in a better spot in that regard. What did you try to do in terms of the mental game when you were unable to really play at 100% physical that allowed you to maybe make some strides in that regard?
To be honest, I didn't do much. It was pretty low. I was at a really low place in my life at that point. Because really all I had was golf. That was, something I've always been good at, something I've always taken pride in. And when I lost that, it was pretty low. But since getting back healthy, I've read a lot of books. I've really, taken the mental side really seriously. And right before this tournament, I actually finished the book, and I think it might have helped coming down the stretch today. So.
Well, you talk about coming down the stretch. It was 3 total rounds, but you played 36 holes on Monday and then finished up with 18 on Tuesday. So talk me through the rigors of playing 36 holes in a single day like you did on the first day of this tournament.
Yeah, they're brutal. They're brutal days. We do that all the time in college though, so I'm used to it. You wake up the next day not feeling great though. Your feet hurt, your calves hurt, back's usually a little bit tight. So I knew that, myself, I rolled out my feet, I rolled out my calves, I hydrated well before I went to sleep that night. And then I woke up with fresh legs and I felt great the next morning. But those days are brutal. I'm still feeling it a little bit in my calves and my feet. But yeah, I felt good going on the last.
So it was at Butler Country Club. What's your familiarity with that course and what stands out about it that maybe makes it unique or difficult?
It's a really difficult course. The fairways are fairly small out there. The course is in good condition though, which it was awesome to play all week. But fairways are fairly small out there, but you can miss it in a good bit of places and still be fine, but the rough's very long. It's very tough. The greens are pretty undulated, pretty slopey, and they're very fast. So, I mean, it's a very long course. I always play the U.S. Open qualifier there every year. I've played a West Penn Open. Scores are never low. I mean, they're always right around par, maybe a few unders, the winner, any kind of event out there. So I knew it wasn't going to be a birdie fest where somebody shoots 15 under. I knew it was going to be those tournaments where pars were very good, and they'll take you a long way. And the approach I took.
As a collegiate golfer, you started at Penn State. Now you're headed into your second year at Bowling Green, your senior year. What are you looking forward to most this year upcoming and collegiately?
I'm looking forward to a lot. We have a pretty good team. We were young last year. We had three guys that were first years in the lineup and for most of the season. So we're moving in the right direction. We should have, like I said, team. We play a great schedule. I love Bowling Green. It's a really fun school, and it's great. We play a great schedule. So I'm really excited, and I'd like to, have a win during the year, individually win a bunch of stuff team wise, and hopefully compete really good for a MAC championship.
And I know I talked to you before we came on, not sure if it'll be your final year collegiately or not, since you have that extra eligibility at your disposal. But ultimately, what's sort of the next step for you? Do you envision playing golf at a high level after college? Obviously, it's a sport you can play for a long, long time, but what do you envision for your future?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I really don't know yet. It's a tough decision because it takes a lot of time, and it's financially difficult. But I'm not sure. I think if I play well this next year and a half, two or so, I'll probably give it a go playing professionally. If not, I'd be okay with not playing professionally. But yeah, it's definitely a thought in mind. I would love to play professionally at the highest. I'd love to play on the PGA Tour, but yeah, it's a hard sport. Lots of ups and downs. So just kind of gonna play it by ear and see what happens.
Final thing for you. I know that you came through high school at Greater Latrobe, and that is a very accomplished golf program. Everyone knows, obviously, Arnold Palmer, but many, many great golfers have been Wildcats during their time. When you think of your upbringing and playing for Greater Latrobe and just growing up around so many other great players, how has that helped mold you into the player you are today?
Yeah, it's definitely molded me a lot. It was always you were always trying to set records, and he sure set a lot of them at Latrobe. Yeah, it's also, I mean, it's tough at the same time because that's who you get compared to, and it's pretty hard to kind of stay in line with him. I mean, he's obviously one of the greatest players of all time. So, yeah, it was very good for me, but it was also very difficult. And then not only that, I mean, we have so many good players my age in our area. Guys like Mark Getz, Palmer Jackson. They've really set a high standard for kids my age, and Palmer's won at the national level. He's he's a great player, and so is Mark. Mark's done the same thing. So Mark just turned professional. I think Palmer will be a senior this year at Notre Dame. So yeah, it's been awesome though, because there's so many good players in the area. At Latrobe, I mean, there wasn't many when I was coming through, but in the years prior to me, there was a lot of good players, including Arnie. So yeah, it's been great for me though, I think.
And you just mentioned some of those players setting a standard. I think obviously you're doing that for some younger players in the area as well, and no doubt winning the tournament this week is going to go a long way in terms of solidifying that as well. Brady, once again, thank you so much for
Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations and good luck going forward.
Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it.